Mm-hmm.
If you would have applied and not gotten the job there, then you'd be like, this is all stuff that happens every day.
No, see, when people do underhanded things,
That's
when people do underhanded things, they know how to work around the laws. Just like Georgia is an at-will state, that doesn't mean people don't get wrongfully terminated.
So I go back to the original. There's no crimes here. There's no crimes.
So to make a death threat to someone is not a crime, and then to send someone to someone's place of business a year later?
Well, that's where the simple assault came in for the report, but it was unfounded. So
how was it unfounded? No one contacted me to get any evidence.
Do you have any evidence?
What evidence do you need?
You said this
because if I'm telling you the story, you're supposed to be able to analyze the story and tell me what do you need from me. Mm-hmm. No one ever did that. No one ever followed up with me since the last time I was in here. That's why I came back in here today to see if there was an update.
You're stating that in 2012 somebody said a threat to you.
Subliminally online, and then this young lady.
Subliminally is not.
So for someone to end up coming to my place of business, that's also an affiliate.
Okay, but
after that,
yet again, that's. There's just no crime here. So if you want to sue them civilly, you can sue them civilly, but there's going to be no.
Even after
crimes.
I get food poisoning after that.
And as
threat?
I told you, I was in uniform at Zaxby's. Did I get food poisoning there? Did somebody put something in there? Or did I get it at O'Charlie's later that day? There's no way to tell. It just happens.
What about people having to address the underhanded slander?
That's gossip. That's going back to elementary school and junior high.
So people can threaten people. What if someone threatens you with a death threat in uniform?
As far as what? What did they say?
If someone says if you do something according to let's say your duty, because to me my faith is my duty. You're doing something according to your duty, and someone says something along the lines of a death sentence or a death threat, like a subliminal message harm coming to your life.
I say thank you and have a good day, because you could subliminally
and then they come and send someone down to this police precinct.
That's just like saying that could be you. That person could have sent you. See what I'm saying? That I need you to start realizing that.
And then someone
things that you're trying to connect.
They're connecting, because no one in 20 years of me being at that business ever came to my place of employment that was an affiliate of his until after that death threat was made. Or something along the lines of a death sentence was made.
What is a death sentence?
Maybe you're gonna die.
Well,
to me, that's what a death sentence is.
So saying you're gonna die, that's a general statement, because everybody's gonna die.
And so you wait until something happens to them, or do you try to prevent it?
Well, how do you prevent death?
So if I'm telling you someone had painted colors on my life.
What does that mean?
I'm now seeing people throw up. I'm not in the gang, so I don't know. But I see people making weird hand signs after that.
Okay, that's what you're perceiving. That's not reality, though.
That is reality, because I see it. Okay. It's not something I made up in my head.
So
I'm seeing people.
So what you're saying is that random individuals that you don't know, that these.
That's how I know it's defamation started by this celebrity, because
listen to what I'm saying. Okay?
Nothing of it happened.
But listen to what I'm saying. You're saying that T.I., back 11 years ago, posted something on your Facebook. And
he posted something to Facebook, not on my Facebook.
Okay, so he posted something on Facebook. You called him out on it, and then all of a sudden all these people are doing this to you. But now you're saying that 13 years later...
Do you not know how defamation works?
11 years later, that now people that you don't know are throwing up gang signs to you.
No, it started right immediately after that, and it's still going on.
Okay, have you ever sought any type of psychiatric treatment or anything like that in the past? Has anybody ever asked you?
I know. I've taken a psychiatric test on my own, and I passed with flying colors.
Okay. Have you ever been committed before? Any teens or
no.
Has anybody ever said, "Hey, I think this would be beneficial for you"?
No.
Okay.
Because I don't understand how me coming down here to report a death threat and then having someone come to my place of business make me crazy.
Wait, you're saying a death threat.
And then you send someone to my... So I made up this young lady working to my business, or do you want to call the Kirby company and get records? So I'm making that up too?
But yet again, there's no criminal act here. There's no...
You can send someone to someone's place of business to defame someone, and that's not criminal?
There's people that talk about me all the time downstairs.
But no, after a death threat was made. See, you're not connecting the dots here. I posted a prophecy, death threat made, a lady shows up to my place of business.
This is what you're
telling me it's in here, but I have records of all of this stuff. I have evidence of all of this stuff. I have documents where she came to my place of business. I just showed you a picture that she's an affiliate. That's not made up.
Okay, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to morph this dimension into thinking that everything is connected somehow, but it's not.
Then how come I never had a run-in with any of his affiliates until that prophecy? Why did I not see anyone throwing up gang signs until after that prophecy, after he made those hostile remarks?
Because if you think that it's snowing outside, it's going to be snowing outside. If you think someone's throwing up a gang sign, then that's what you're going to perceive. That's what you're just perceiving.
So...
What are these gang signs?
I telepathically made this girl come to my place of business after his other affiliate posted a death threat. I did that too, right? Oh, I'm going to think in my head, someone's going to come to my place of business and she just so happens to show up, right? And I have records at her working at this place of business after this prophecy was posted.
And then
I also just showed you a picture of how they're affiliated.
And then you let this individual go.
Because I thought when someone misbehaves at work, what do you do as a manager? You let them go, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I let her go.
Okay. So what was her misbehaving?
She was causing confusion by spreading lies about me and my family. Okay. I made that up too, right? These people.
No, I believe.
That means everybody. That means if I'm seeing stuff, these other people are seeing stuff too, right?
I wish that you would.
Because, I mean, if you think it's in my head, then the person who had to address the whole office about it, it's in their head too,
Well, I think
right?
you were having these conversations with these people in the office, and I think that they...
But why would you assume that if I just told you I never did?
I'm saying this is what I think.
But why would you assume that?
Because that's the only thing that would make sense.
So, it doesn't make sense for me to see a death threat and for someone to show up to my place of business causing the defamation, but it makes sense to you that I started it.
No. What I think happened is you saw some post on Facebook. I think you posted...
But I'm willing to take a lie detector test. Okay. About me never speaking to anyone about it.
Well, a lie detector test doesn't say anything. It doesn't do anything.
It proves I'm telling the truth.
Well, no. Yet again, there's nothing that's documented that says that a lie detector, you can be fooled. It can be.
No, but when it's come from another law enforcement agency who's used to testing people who have tried to fool it, I think it does say something.
Okay. So anything that I say to you, you're going to take as you don't want that answer.
Because you're telling me I now need psychiatric treatment.
Well, I'm saying that I think going to a therapist...
And so that means that if I need psychiatric treatment, that means the other people who reported this too, via email and all this other stuff too, they're making it up in their heads too, though,
so
right?
So my job here is I'm the supervisor over the mobile crisis unit. Okay?
And like I told her, someone called me... But they didn't call me to update, but they called me asking me if I needed therapy. And like I asked her, why would somebody read a police report and call for therapy and not call for updates?
So now that makes sense. So you got a call from our clinician.
But why would you read a police report and assume someone needs therapy?
Because if I were to tell you that in 2012, a rapper, and given your whole story...
Isn't he already with lawsuits for sexual misconduct?
Let me ask you this. If I were to say in 2001, I knew that the terror attack was going to happen on the Twin Towers, and I had firsthand knowledge of it, would you believe me?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay, so a report was done because you called in. She was calling you because the way this sounds like you may need to address an underlying concern.
And that means the people who also reported it as well, they need help too, though, right?
Reported what?
The ones who reported that underhanded slander was being done behind my back, so they need help too, though.
No,
right?
I honestly think that you had conversations with people in these offices.
But I just told
and then
you
started,
I did
they
not.
started talking about
No,
you because they thought
I just
something
told
was wrong.
you no.
Because that's the only reason that makes
but
sense.
why would you
why
assume
hold on a
that?
second.
That's a
Hang
dangerous speculation for
Hang on.
one. Why
Hang
would you
on.
assume that I said
Hang
that
on.
and I just told you I did not?
So yet again, when you're and the way this is leading me is when you had a conversation with your boss, which wasn't even a conversation, that you sat down in the office, because we've been talking for the last 35 minutes, and
you just asked me if I needed psychiatric help.
Yes.
But if I need psychiatric help, how did I manage to run a business for 20 years successfully? And after leaving there, even during the midst of this slander and defamation, in the midst of these EEOC charges, I still managed to work my way up to administrative assistant.
So
if I'm
this is
mentally
where,
cuckoo.
This is where it's leading me, okay? We've already talked, so for the last 5 minutes after I've said kind of what's happening in regards to this, that's more conversation.
You assume that
Hold on.
I gossiped
Hang on
about
one
the
second.
situation, and that's why people said that.
1 second. So within this last 5 minutes of us having this conversation, that's more than you had with your boss that said, we've got a whole mess of situation
Because
here.
I already knew from prior experience.
So what I believe happened, because I need to look at the evidence, I need to take your statements.
I don't trust you. I do know that police officers can be gang related as well. And so now the way you're trying to make me seem crazy, which is so impossible for me to be crazy because you said I needed psychiatric help is what you said.
I said you should go see a therapist. I think
I told you I don't need to see a therapist. Who needs to see a therapist is people who have the nerve to send someone to someone's place of business after posting a biblical prophecy and using that biblical prophecy to twist it to paint colors on someone's life for record sales. That's who needs therapy. I don't need therapy. Because if I need therapy, then that means all the other people that reported these incidents to me and who made me aware of the situation, they need therapy too.
I don't think you need therapy. I think you need to speak to a clinician or
I don't
a
need
licensed...
to. Who I need to speak to is someone who is of integrity, an officer who is probably not gang related, an officer who is probably not affiliated with the mob, an officer who is probably not doing anything underhandedly for political retaliation. I need someone who has integrity, who has ethical means of doing their job. It's who I need to speak to, because right now I'm not speaking to that person. So good. Have a good day, officer.
Okay, so...
I'm done with this conversation, just like I was done with that guy who mistreated me at the place.
Okay,
have a great day.
Have a great day.